Dear students, welcome to today's class. Here is the final product. An Airbnb dashboard in Power BI is what we are going to build as a part of assignment for today. This is one of a very important and a fun dashboard assignment. You will enjoy building with me for the next hour or hour and a half. Something more about the company. Yeah. So let me pull some financial or similar important information about the same company. So I'm sure you all are aware of the Airbnb as a company. Again, it's a rental company. And some more information, and I usually prefer, as from looking from, business point of view, finance point of view, I always prefer going to finance.google.com, look for the company and get all the important numbers, facts and figures about each of the company that you usually investigate. So here is a finance.google.com's verdict on Airbnb. Yeah, so again on Friday when the market closed, the stock raised by almost 2%. So this was the ending closing price. And if you look at the 5-day performance total in last, like from Monday to Friday, it rose by 11%. 1 month performance, almost the same, 12%. 6 months, maybe it's not so good, 22%. But again, overall the economy was not good in last 6 months or so. Year to date also similar, like it is down from the exactly like first working day of January until today is down by 2.5%. And if you look at the max, since the time the stock was launched on the stock market, so here is the performance down by like almost 5.8%. But again, doesn't mean that a company is any bad. But again, this is the way to look at it. Well, the reason I look at the max is it gives me the entire history of the stock. So looks like this is more of a recent, newly formed tech companies or newly a new tech company that was freshly or pretty like recently launched into the stock market. So again, looks like it was launched on December 11, 2020. And since then, there were some up cycles, down cycles, up cycles, down cycles. You see, like this is more of a repeat. This zone is more of a repeated one, cyclic. And again, stock markets are always like that. So again, doesn't mean that if the company is like from start to end it's down by 6%, doesn't mean that it's not a so good company and so on. This is the nature of the stock price. But again, this is the way you look at it. So again, look at the 1-day history, 5-day history, 6-month history, year-to-date history, 1-year history, 5-year history, and max history to get a complete understanding. Some more important numbers to know is, previous closing was this, current is this, and day range is this, year range is this. Like for this year itself, the minimum was $110, highest is $170. Market cap, very important measure. So currently it's telling it is $83 billion of market capitalization. So that's huge for a tech company. Profit to earning ratio is 18% and so on. So again, this is on a high level what Airbnb financial performance for this year and your last 1 year or year to date or the entire lifespan is. Something more is, I just pulled the Wikipedia information, a page for this Airbnb. So again, as per Wikipedia, it's an American company operating an online marketplace for short and long-term homestays and experience in various countries and regions. The company acts as a broker, so it's a middleman and charges a commission from each booking. It was founded, fairly recently, 2008, by these three, genius people: Brian Chesky, Nathan Gaskavich, and Joe Gebbia. It is most well-known company for short-term rentals. And again, history. And again, within the history, there will be some up cycles, down cycles, and everything, all the important milestones that happened here, and so on. So again, looks like here is a history of acquisitions. So So again, May 11, they kind of in Germany, I think they acquired this company, Colio, and so on. So here is a list, and corporate history is given, share history is given, and some of the important numbers, facts, figures to know. Looks like recently it has been doing very well. But again, even if it was, again, it's a new tech company, and that's the specialty about tech companies is usually the tech companies are called as market disruptors. So again, I will consider Airbnb as that one disrupting company that has totally shaken the rental property hotel business and so on. So again, it's a part of that. And in the initial years, it's very normal. There will be lots of hiccups, lots of lessons learned, so up cycle, down cycle. So again, initially, I think when they were, it was a startup, it was trying to find its place, a strong foothold in the whole industry itself. The net income was negative, but as time went on and on and on, looks like they were able to generate positive net income, which is a good thing. So yeah, this is the kind of history. So again, I'll be providing all these links. So if you want to review and understand more about the company, yeah, you feel free to look at these. So now coming to our main dashboard we will be building as a part of today. Again, fun. So again, I have provided the data set. Let me pull the folder that has the data so I can explain a bit more. So here you go. So yeah, here is the data set that is provided as a part of this. And again, I also provided this Airbnb logo, which we'll be using over here. So again, in this dashboard, lots of KPIs, important KPIs are given over here. Again, this is an interactive dashboard, meaning if I select one of it, so for performance for 2024, it will only show me the numbers for 2024. And again, if I select the neighborhood type, again, my computer is like loaded. So again, it's not looking very perfect. But if I select say neighborhood groups in Manhattan, it will give me all the numbers for Manhattan only. Same if I select for Brooklyn, it will give me the numbers for Brooklyn. So again, it's a very interactive, very well, filters have been applied for this entire dashboard. And again, you can save this whole file as well as template for your future use also. Again, once you graduate, you might be in an industry where maybe that's you'll be dealing with lots of data, rental data or something, retail data. So that's where your file like this, having a good understanding of file like this and dashboard like this will be helpful for you. So yeah, like if I'm filtering based on the entire home, this is the numbers I'm getting. Maybe filtering based on the shared room, these are the numbers I'll be getting. So again, count in the neighborhood and so on. And again, the data file I use is for the state of New York and the 4 neighborhoods it has: the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and Staten Island. And again, room types, there are 3 room types being considered within this data set. First one is the entire home on the rental, private room on the rental, shared room on the rental. So if I select private room, yeah, this is the average reviews per month within the given data set. Then some of the total reviews, yeah, almost 500,000, more than 500,000. Count in the neighborhood in this for private neighborhood is yeah, like 208. And if I add double filter, say private room in Bronx, 48 count in the neighborhood and so on. So again, I can go to that level of detail as well. Yeah, let me remove all the filters. And again, yeah, looks like in June months they receive most of the reviews. Maybe it's a good business time for that. And it looks like in 2024 they have been having lots of reviews by year. Maybe I think it's a recent time they have been started to make like positive net cash and so on. So maybe that's the reason. So again, total bookings by neighborhood group looks like Manhattan, the busiest place in the whole country. Maybe that has the highest. And again, if I select that, I'll get all the relevant information within it. Second looks like it's Brooklyn. So if I select it, I will be getting the related information. Same is the case with the total host by total reviews. So looks like this person Maya has the highest. Is like the top host with the total reviews. So again, when I select her, I get the exactly pinpointed information about her only. So yeah, this is the fun dashboard and very, very important dashboard we'll be creating as a part of today's assignment. And again, I will say this is a very important assignment. So yeah, let's proceed. With that said, let me open the data file and understand what is the data file, what we are looking at and what kind of data structure is there. Let's see its boundaries, let's see the number of columns, and for each column, what is the type of data it contains. Yeah, so that's the thing. Here is a file that opened. So again, at the beginning, again, it's a CSV file, comma separated variable. So again, I will make it much more presentable, readable, so that I can review it and make some important, understanding about it. Oops, sorry. Control C. I know exactly what happened. This is too wide. Maybe the name is too long. So I'll make this a bit shorter. Make this a bit shorter to the best it can. Then I will apply the data filters on the row number 1, and also I will go to view and freeze top row. Great. So let me check the boundaries from left to right. Yeah. So total how many columns are there? Whether I have like 100 columns or whether I have 10 columns. So I'm selecting cell A1, Control Shift right. Awesome. Looks like there are total 16 columns. Good to know. And let's see how much data I have. So again, I'm selecting cell A1, and on my keyboard, I'm selecting Control Shift down. Oh wow, this time we have a lot of data, almost 49,000. Okay, so again here it's 48,896 minus 1. So again, that's the number of data. So we have lots of data here. Yeah. So that's the fun part here. Is doesn't matter if you have 10 data points, 100 data points, or 1,000 data points, 10,000 data points, or like a million data points. Once we have the data structured correctly, even if you have 100 like million data points, and as long as the software can handle it, Power BI can create those analytics in like within few seconds. That's the fun part of it. Yeah. So this is good to know. So again, that's again a big eye opener for me, is that it's almost 49,000 data points, and we'll be building this whole dashboard based on it. So the very first column name is ID. Maybe it's maybe the transaction ID whenever a room was booked. Maybe that's the ID it is. And when I make it bigger, looks like the minimum number is 2539 and highest is, wow, it's a huge one, 123. Yeah, so almost 7.7 million. And again, it's an ID, so I will count it as a well, not a numerical but more of a nominal type of value. It's a unique identifier. Yeah, it's an ID. Again, although they are using numbers, it's a unique identifier, so it's a nominal value for me. Name, certainly it's a nominal value for me as well. And again, looks like there are 2s and 3s, so maybe these are some bugs, and so there are some blanks. So again, within the name, if I'm seeing numbers and blanks, again, that's kind of raising question in my mind. So let me see what those 2, 3 and blanks are. 1, 2, because in the names I will expect some names. Yeah. And I'm seeing numbers, which again, it might be true, but I'm just curious. It's always good to check. Oh, awesome. So within the name, there are a few blanks and there are numbers as well. Maybe it's a typo, maybe it's a wrong transaction, maybe this gentleman named Eugene, or I don't know what it is. And okay, so this is definitely a real blank. So whenever I'm, so just a caution, or maybe not a caution, but something to know is whenever I'm loading this data in Power BI, and if I see any errors, I should know that it's related to this, because Power BI is telling me, might tell me that there are errors in this. Yeah. So as long as you know it are these errors, you can always continue, ignore it and continue. So still you can build your dashboard. Yeah. So that's something good to know. Yeah. So again, glad that we saw those errors. Then the next one is the host ID. So similar to this ID, it might be the host ID. This might be the transaction or the room ID. This might be the host ID, which is unique to the specific host. And each host might have 2 or 3 properties for rental, which is totally normal. So again, for the host ID, the minimum number is 2571. Highest number is, oh wow, 1, 2, 3. 47 million. Yeah, that's huge, but good to know. Again, this is an ID. It's not a real number. It's an ID. So again, a nominal value for me. Then host name, again, it should be a name, like, so again, nominal value. And here also I'm seeing numbers 1, 2, 3. And again, some characters like these. So yeah, there are, I think those are bugs. Yeah. So let me check, specifically check and see what those are. And since this is a huge file, there is a lag in my computer. Yeah, I'm curious to see. You see, this cannot be a name. A cannot be a name. Maybe it's a typo, and you see, oh yeah, glad we are seeing these, because these are the always question raisers. And maybe if I see some errors while loading the data or while running my dashboards, I must know these are coming from here. So oh, awesome. So you see there are host names, A, and again there is neighborhood Queen, neighborhood Manhattan. Yeah, this is good to know. And again, these are some host names. So this cannot be a name. Maybe it's a Valeria, but again, it's taking some characters. This cannot be a name. This doesn't look like a name. A, random characters, and there are some blanks also. So glad to know there are some bugs over here. Yeah. So as I said before, be prepared. When we load the data in Power BI, definitely Power BI is going to tell that there are some errors in it. And if it doesn't tell, then something is wrong. But again, Power BI is very strong. It will tell you. Next one is your neighborhood group. So looks like there are 5 neighborhood groups within the state of New York from where this data is collected, or yeah, maybe for the entire state. Yeah, then there is this neighborhood within those groups, and again there is a long list. So it looks like this is, yeah, maybe the subdivisions or maybe sub cities in the state. So this is good to know. Then there is map related information, latitude, longitude. In this case we are not going to use map, but yeah, this is good to know. Yeah, so there is latitude, longitude. Then there is room type. Oh, awesome. It looks like there are 3 different types of rooms which are on rent. Then what's this? Price. Oh, looks like there's a price. So it looks like these are dollars. So again, oh, $0. I'm curious to see who is offering for $0. Oh, maybe this is a bug. Maybe wrongly entered the typo or something, because yeah, no one will offer for free. But again, good to know that there are some yeah, $0. Oh, well, in the state of New York, if somebody is offering rental for $10, I'll happily take it. But it looks like there are lots of those numbers like those. But again, these are good to know. So again, the minimum is 0, maximum is wow, 10,000 bucks. Good to know. So that's your range for price. Again, this is a numerical, and I'm sure this is dollar value. Then again, minimum night stay. There is like minimum is 1, maximum is or more than a year or more than 4 years, 1250. Good to know. Yeah, you see, most of them are less than 500, maybe a little, maybe more than a year, but there are few with 999,000. Yeah, maybe these are typos. I don't know. But again, this is the real data. We are just exploring. And as an analyst, I should be taking the file, doing this kind of activity, understanding the data, and doing the best analysis I can. And again, if I can ask somebody about these questions, do you really think if there are 1250, I should go ahead and ask it like upfront. But yeah, so these are the data. So looks like this guy Peter, minimum nights 1,000 nights. Wow, that looks unrealistic. Maybe it's a typo, I don't know. But again, as an analyst, these are the types of questions you should be asking whenever you are exploring the data. So again, for now, I'm just exploring the data, trying to understand the content. So nothing, I can't make any decision whether it's right or wrong. So yeah, minimum nights, minimum number of reviews. So again, for each, there are yeah, some host for whom there were no reviews. There was some one. So again, the minimum is 0, maximum is 629. Good to know. Then I think yeah, we saw those. Then last review, the most recent review. Okay, awesome. So looks like there are multiple dates and there are some blanks also. Again, good to know. Then reviews per month. Oh, yeah, maybe like yeah, I mean these are fractions. This is good to know. The minimum reviews is 0.01, maybe fractional. That still sounds unrealistic, but it might be an average. So maybe one of the renter had 5 properties and he or she has been renting for 3-4 years and they only received 1 review. So again, the average might be this fraction, so it is possible. But again, for me, good to know is the minimum is 0.01 and the maximum is 58.5. And again, maybe some of the guys, they didn't leave any reviews, so that's why it is blank. Then calculated host listing. And what's the full name? Count. Okay, listings count. Yeah. So again, the minimum is 1, maximum is 327. So again, all numeric. And the lastly is availability within 365 days. So yeah, maybe yeah. So like 0. Yeah, it's a good thing to know. Maybe I think it's unrealistic, but again, it is what it is. So again, there are some numbers with 0, and the highest is for the entire year. I'm just curious, how can it be 0? Maybe it's a typo. Oh no, there are multiple. So I'm sure maybe they didn't have the right numbers, so they just entered 0. There are lots of them. So this is good to know. But again, it is what it is. So as an analyst, I'm not supposed to make any conclusions. All I can do is while reviewing, I'll review this data with the entire team. It might be whole manager, salesperson, accountant, advertisers, coders, and whoever are involved in this company's data collection. And with questionable items like these, I can always ask these questions about why 0, why typos, and so on. Let's correct it before I start building. But in this case, we don't have that option. So yeah, we just looked at the data, we checked the boundaries from left to right. We have 16 columns, top to bottom, almost 49,000 of data points. So with that said, I have a good understanding of the content of this and also the names of these columns. So with that said, let's move forward and start creating our dashboard. So for that, I will request you all to open a new window of Power BI and we will start loading the data. Awesome. So new Power BI window is opening. Let's start with a blank report. We know our data file is a CSV file, so I'm going to click on Get Data. Let's select text/CSV, selecting the right file, Airbnb dataset 2024. It's trying to load. Awesome. So this is the preview window we got. We know we already checked this data. Well, we formally know there are some nulls here and there are some errors, which will be shown here immediately in the next window. And eventually we'll be solving it so that we don't have those issues as we go when we are building each and every chart. But for now, I'm going to load it. And while it is trying to load, you can see, yeah, Power BI is doing its thing. Also, some things are being populated in your data pane as well. And yeah, it is telling one of the loaded queries contain errors, view errors. For now, I'm just going to say close and let it load the way it is. And you see this sheet, that is the table, as well as the multiple entities, that is a column, have been loaded over here. So great. With that said, let's start building our visual. The very first thing is, let's work on the background over here. So while I'm in the clicking on the canvas page, I'm going to format your report page and then select the canvas background and for the color here. So this time we are going to use the Airbnb red color code. So just for your reference, this is the code we are going to use, FF5A5F, yeah, and that's the Airbnb red color, FF5A5F. So for the background, more colors. Yeah, so enter this code FF5A5F, press enter. As of now, you don't see any change because the transparency is 100%. I'll turn it to 0% and you see the Airbnb red color has been applied to the entire canvas. Awesome, first step completed. Let's go ahead and save this. And let's for now I'll be saving it in a downloads and then later I'll change. So let's call this as a Airbnb dashboard. Great, I'm going to save it. Awesome. Next, let's go ahead and apply filters. So for the main filter, which I'm going to use for all the visuals I'm going to create. So those are these. Let me put it over here. I'm going to use this neighborhood group. So let's go ahead and drag the neighborhood group into filter on all pages. Awesome, it loaded. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Let me take this away. Yeah, let's drag the room type, filters on all pages. Sweet, yeah, it loaded. And then I'll expand it, scroll all the way down and select the last three, entire home, apartment or private room or shared room. Yeah, so these have been applied on this filter for all pages. Next, I'm going to add a filter. Indirectly, it's called a slicer in Power BI terms. So let's click on this slicer and something like this appears. Here, I'm going to select the neighborhood group. So let's just select it. Awesome. These five neighborhood groups have been visible here. Let's go ahead and complete the formatting. So the very first is slicer setting. Currently, it's being shown as a vertical list. I will change it as a drop down. Great. Then let's fix the coloring part. Yeah, so slicer header neighborhood group. Yeah, this is looking good. Maybe I will make this N capital, group G capital. Great. This is looking good. I'm going to make it bolder as well. Then for the background, currently it's yeah, like no color is selected. I will use our Airbnb. Yeah, looking great. And then for the font color, I'll make it white color. Awesome. So our header part is corrected. Border, I think this is good for now. Yeah, now let's go to the general. Say title. Yeah, I think yeah, title is off. No issues. Let's in the effect. Yeah. So currently this for the whatever is visible within this slicer, the background is white. Let's change it to our Airbnb. Red color. Great. This is looking great. Then header icon is good. Title is good. Property. I'm looking for making this the all part. This text as white over here. So going down header icon. Let's see if it is here. Yeah, color. I think icon. Yeah, I think that's cool. Yeah, this size is good. Properties. I'll make it small. Effects. I'll visual border shadow. No visual border. What if I turn it on and see color is white? What do I see? Oh, awesome. You can see this visual border. Yeah, this is great. So again, selecting this part, I think you see these sharp corners. Let's make it rounded. Value also, let's make it awesome. Border. I think that's not the border I'm looking for. Background. That's not the background I'm looking for. Slicer, maybe it's in general effects. Sweet transfer. Yeah, perfect. Here is the one. So currently the rounded corner is 0. Let's make it 20. Yeah, I think this is looking great. Let's go ahead and save it. Next, let's squeeze this. Let's readjust the size over here. So squeeze this maybe until here so that this word is visible. Then let's create a copy of the same. So select it, Control C on my keyboard and Control V. Let's move it over here and maybe let's move this over here. Just eyeball. Keep it somewhere in the middle top next to each other, and let's change this to room type. Oh, sorry, second one. So make sure the second one is selected. Let's change this to room type, and let's take the neighborhood group off. Title will be the same. So let's fix the title. Go over here in the general effects properties, I guess. Visual slicer settings. No, slicer header. Oh yeah, here you go. So this should be room type. ROOMTYPE. Great. So here I'm seeing 3 room types. Oops, I think there is something going on with my monitor or the internet speed. So that's why it's not visible, but yeah, it's there. So the first neighborhood group is Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and Staten Island. And room type is entire home, apartment, private room, and shared room. Next, we are going to insert some cards. So for that, let's go to the visualization, select this option card. Window like this appears. Here, I'm going to feed in reviews per month, and here within the field I'm going to expand this and say average reviews per month. So yeah, this is looking great. Now let's go ahead and format this also. Going over here, call out value. I say let's turn this to white color. Category label, this also let's turn it into white color. And let's go to the effects background. Let's use our Airbnb red color, looking great. This is off. Header icon, I think this is also looking good. Header icon good, this good. Let's go to the properties, padding position looking good. Visual, yeah. So now let's make some changes over here. Display, this is white color, call out. Category label, text wrap spacing, no, not an issue, looking good. I think this is too big, so let's make this as 15. Same for the category label. Let's from 12, let's turn it to 10. Great. Now the corners, yeah. So for that, it's in general, well, not the property. Header icon, transparency icon, no. We are looking, yeah, visual border. Yeah, let's turn the visual border on. And for the rounded corner, let's use 20. Great. Now let's move it here and let's squeeze it down. Oh, I think the visual border, let's change the color to white. So general effect, visual border, color to white. Yeah, matching up. I think this is looking great. We'll drag this a little bit down so these are aligned. Awesome. Yeah, for now, this is looking great. Next, I'm going to create 3 copies of this window. So Control C, I'm going to say Control V1, Control V2, Control V3. Then move it to my extreme right hand side. Second one in between these two, and third one in between the first and third. Later on we'll fix this gap and so on. Now let's start filling out the right information. Here I'm going to have the number of reviews. Yeah, so for that I'm going to uncheck this and check number of reviews. Currently I'm seeing 1 million, so yeah, that's correct. Then for this one I'm going to have the neighborhoods, that is count of neighborhoods. So I'm going to select this, uncheck this and select on the neighborhood. Currently I'm seeing the very first neighborhood, so I will expand this part and say count distinct. Awesome, 221 count of neighborhood. Third one I'm going to have count of host. Yeah, so the total number of hosts. So I'm going to unselect this and select this host ID. And currently I'm seeing sum of host ID, so I'll make this bigger and say count distinct. Next, we are going to add a clustered column chart for the total number of reviews by year. So for that, I'm going to click on this chart over here. Window like this appears. Then in the x-axis, I'm going to add last review. Yeah, you can see there are like 4 levels of drill down. I do not need the days, month, and quarter. So I'm going to cross out the days, month, and quarter. So only year. Next, in the y-axis, I'm going to track the last review again. And this time, yeah, I want the count of the last review. So this is looking perfect. Let's do the formatting for the same chart. I'll go in general, say title. Let's fix the title. So let's name is as total last reviews by year. So TOTAL REVIEWS by YEAR. Awesome, looking great. Let's change the color to white. 14 looks good. Yeah, let's keep it bold for now. Let's center it out. Great, title is done. Yeah, let's change the background to our Airbnb red color. I think this is looking good for now. Everything else is looking good for now. Subtitles here. Going now, let's fix the x-axis over here. So continuous is good, range is good. Values, yeah. So this is also looking good. Let's change the value color to white. Awesome. This is great. But if I do bold, no, I think unbold was good. Display units is whatever it is. I think it's good for now. Title off, I think. Let's do the same thing for y-axis as well. Values are on. Let's change the value color to white. Awesome. Title of the y-axis. Let's change it to white. Or let's take away the title for the x and y-axis, both of them, because yeah, it's self-explanatory. Last total number of last reviews. So 0, 20K and years are visible. Let's fix the bar colors to white again. So making this smaller values. Values, title, y-axis, data labels. I think data labels will be great. First, let's fix the color of the bars. So let's use let's use white color over here. Awesome, very well displayed. Then border data label. Let's turn the data labels on, and for the data label, let's change the color to white. Values, And I think we don't need the grid lines, so make it smaller. Background, details, values. Is there a grid line option over here? Doesn't look like. Layout, no, none. Plot area, background. Let's see here, no, none of it. Title, values. Data labels taken care of. Layout taken care of. Color taken care of. Columns, zoom, slider, grid lines. Okay, awesome. Let's turn them on. So for the horizontal, I turned it off. Same thing for vertical, turning them off. So quickly glancing through, I think this is looking great. This is exactly what we wanted. So I'll save it. Next, let's fix this visual border. So select this chart, go to your format, general, effects, turn on the visual border, make this bigger. For you, the color might be black, so please change it to white. And then this might be 0, so just change it to 20. Awesome, this is looking great. Now let's copy the same chart. So select it, Control C, Control V, move to my extreme right. So here, let's take away the last review as well as count of last review. And here, yeah, in the x-axis again, I'm going to use the last review only. But this time I don't want year, I want it by month. So I'm going to eliminate or remove the days, year, quarter, keep it month. And in the y-axis, I'm going to have this total number of reviews. So drag to my y-axis, that is the number of reviews. Awesome, I'm seeing this. Yeah, the total number of reviews out here. Oh, sorry, this one is incorrect. So I want this reviews by month in my y-axis. So yeah, awesome. Yeah, this is looking correct. Awesome. The formatting also looks good. Let's change the title over here. So select this chart, go to format, general, effects, title, and total reviews by month. Total reviews 1, 2, 3, 4 by month, by months. Then yeah, let's fix this x-axis. I think this is, yeah, some of them are missing. So in the x-axis, let's go to visual x-axis. Let's try to minimize. I think 8 is the minimum it can take. So I think, yeah, this is much better. Exaggerate, yeah. If I think, yeah, I'll keep this way so that most of the numbers are visible. Next, we are going to build a horizontal bar chart. So for that, I'm going to copy the first chart, this one, Control C, Control V, and then move this, yeah, pasted over here somewhere in the middle. And then let's take, yeah, let's change. So while this is selected, I'm going to click on this clustered bar chart, and I'm going to remove, yeah, year review, this one as well. Yeah, so on the y-axis, I'm going to drag the neighborhood group. So let's drag this neighborhood group in my y-axis. And for the x-axis, I'm going to drag the name. Awesome. And for the, yeah, let's make this a bit bigger so that all these, yeah, let's just seen in a single view. Yeah, I think this is perfect, barely in. In the y-axis, let's remove the title. Y-axis. Title, let's turn it off. This is looking great. Let's fix the title. So making this here title, make it bigger. So here this time we are seeing the neighborhood group, right? Yeah, total bookings by, yeah, let's remove this. Oh, sorry. Just name it total bookings by neighborhood group. bookings by NEIGHBBORH group. Awesome, looking great, looking great. So in that case, yeah, let's drag this part and make the first two charts of the same height as well. And like I always say, the final formatting, sizes and all, we can always do later on towards the end when we have built the entire dashboard and all the components are filled in. But I think for now, this is looking great. So let's save this. Next one, we'll have the average price by neighborhood group. So please select this chart, Control C, Control V, drag it down, keep it in the this zone over here. Maybe drag a little bit up. And yeah, let's take it away. Let's take it away. And instead of neighborhood group, I will drag the neighborhood into my y-axis and the price will be in my x-axis, and instead of sum of price, I'm going to change it to average price. Awesome, this is looking great. Then let's change the title. Let's name it as average price by neighborhood, AVERAGE by neighborhood, NEIGHBORHOOD Awesome. Yeah, just making some corrections on this width so that we can fit in few more for the charts that are coming for the top 10 host by total reviews. So I'm going to copy this, select, Control C, Control V, drag it all the way to the right. Take this off, take this off. In the y-axis, I'm going to drag the host name, and in the x-axis, I'm going to drag the number of reviews. Awesome. Then I'm going to expand this filters, and in the this field over here where it says add fields here, add data fields over here, I'm going to drag the host ID, and in the filter type, currently it's advancing filtering, I'm going to make it bigger and say top N, and within this top N I'm going to select top 10, enter the number 10, and by values I'm going to drag this number of reviews again in the by values. Awesome. This looks great. So currently I'm seeing the top 10 host. Oops, sorry, I didn't apply. Yeah. So yeah, well, it didn't take through. So again, I'm going to, in this filter, yeah, currently host ID is correct. Top N, I'm going to say top 10. And by values, again, I'm going to drag the number of reviews and say apply filter. Once applied, I'm going to see the top 10 host by reviews. Yeah, so this is also completed. Let's change the title. Let's fix the title over here. So within the format, general, title, make this bigger, say top 10 host by reviews. Total reviews, VIEWS. Awesome. So even this chart is complete. Save it. Next, we create a donut chart for the total neighborhoods by group. For that, I'm going to select this chart, create a copy, Control C, Control V, drag it somewhere over here. I just highball somewhere in the down. Then, while this is selected, click on donut chart. Let's remove legends, values, and then select neighborhood group and neighborhood into your values. Let's remove this legend. So formatting, remove the legend. This is looking great. Now the slices. Yeah, let's use varying shades of white and gray for all these 5 neighborhoods we see. So first Manhattan, I'm going to select white. Brooklyn, I'm going to select the first shade of gray. Queens, I'm going to select the second shade of or maybe third shade of gray. Bronx, I'm going to select the fourth shade of gray, and Staten Island, I'm going to select the last shade of gray. Awesome. This is looking great. And for the data labels, I will say, oh, sorry, for you, it might be something else. So please select the category and percent of total. So this is how it should look like, category and percent of total. This is done, this is done. Now let's fix the title over here. So go to general, expand the title, select it all and say total neighborhoods by group. TOTALNEIGHBORHOOD by GROUP. Perfect. Let's go ahead and save this. Next, let's go ahead and add the Airbnb logo over here. So for that, I'm going to the insert image. Let's select the image that has been provided. Open. It's loaded over here. I'm going to drag it somewhere in the middle. Yeah, just eyeball it. This is looking great. Now let's fix the border. So go in general, effects, activate or turn on the visual border. Color should be white. Rounded is 20. Let's see. Awesome. This is looking great. Next, let's create the two tables in this spaces over here. So for that, I'm going to copy this. Select Control C, Control V, drag it down. Then I'm going to select this table, that is matrix. So while this is selected, I'm clicking matrix. Then I will take this off. I will take this off. And for the rows, I will select the neighborhood group. And for the columns, I will select the room type. And in the values, I'll drag the price over here. Awesome. This is looking great. Now let's do the formatting. Yeah, let me take away the subtotals over here. We don't need these subtotals, which is there by default. So for column subtotal, take it off, turn it off. Row subtotals, turn it off. For the formatting, for the values, let's select the text color white and the background color Airbnb red. Same thing for the next set, white color for the text and alternative background Airbnb red color. Make it smaller. For the grid and within grid for the borders, let's select all of them and let's select the color as white. Or yeah, oh, white was good here. Next thing, for the column headers, let's have text color as white, center, background as our Airbnb red. Same thing for the row header, text color white, background color Airbnb red, centered. Awesome, awesome. Same thing for the grid. So make this small. Make this small. Let's turn on horizontal grid line, vertical grid line. Make it bigger. Color as white. Same here also, color as white. Looking great. Now we can add the title over here. Let's go to general. Title on. Make it bigger. Let's fix this. Let's call it as average price by neighborhood group. And room type. Awesome, looking great. Yeah, it's perfectly fitting. Awesome. Now you see for some reason the total sum of prices has been selected. So for that reason, let me change this. So I will select this chart, go to this values. Instead of sum of price, I'm going to say average. Yeah, awesome. And maybe let's see what sort options we have. Neighborhood group. Yeah, I think let's sort based on the average price. So once I do, awesome, I'm seeing the highest first and it's decreasing for the first one. Also, you can see, this is going kind of over. And when I look at the content of all these, I think the titles of these tables, the columns title are taking the longest. So maybe let's try to edit this. So I'll rename for this visual. So for this neighborhood group, Yeah, that's too long. So instead of NBR, yeah, let me trick it around. NBR hood, yeah, NBR neighborhood group. Yeah, awesome. Hey, in the single one, I think yeah, I got it corrected. So this is looking good. It looks complete. Great, yeah. So let's save this. Next one is we need to create a similar matrix table for the average price neighborhood, sorry, for the average review by the neighborhood room. Yeah. So for that, I'm going to select this Control C, paste the same matrix table and drag it over here. And here, instead of the, yeah, I think the average price, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to add the review per month in my values. And here also, you see it's sum of reviews. I'm going to change it to average. So great. Yeah, this is looking very good. Then let's change the title over here to say average reviews by neighborhood group. General title average reviews per month. REVIEWS per MONTH by, yeah, average reviews per month by neighborhood group by room type. Perfect. Looks like this is looking too big. Let's try to cut off. Say instead of average, I'll say AVG. AVG still long reviews per month by NBR hood group room type. Yeah. So again, instead of the whole word neighborhood, I will use NBR hood, NBR hood by NBR hood by say RM room type. And maybe let me try to reduce this as well. Awesome. Yeah. Or maybe 12 is good. Neighborhood average. Yeah, I think this is looking good. So by that, we kind of fixed this part as well. Let's save it. And now let's see if there are any few things we can do. Maybe we can center these, right? So for that reason, yeah, the titles are centered, not a problem. So within the table, yeah. So I'll go to visual, grid, blank, column. Well, not the header, but the values itself, image, cell element, average review. No, I'm not going to touch that. Specific column, looking good. Row header, looking good. Values, yeah. Options, looking good. Looking good. Blank row grid. Layout and style, compact is good. Image, no image, cell elements. I think we already saw it. Row, no grand total. Row header, none needed. Maybe it's in a general. Header icon, effects. Maybe it's in effects. Or the shadow, none. Properties, position, centered. And with the padding, advanced option, none. Header icon, what's icon? No, none. Layout and style, compact, no. What's the thing with grid? Thing color, values, within values. Oops. So this is here. Column headers. I think these, well, the header parts are part is corrected. Not no grand column grand. No, we are not going with the grand total. Header is also done, out of question. Specific column. Oh yeah, perfect. So yeah, this is what we should be looking. So this is selected in the visual specific column. So visual values specific column centered is what I was looking for. So this is good. We need to do the same thing. Yeah, values specific values cell element specific column. So we're going to do the same thing for this table also. You see it's on right hand side alignment. So values, I'll do the centering, looking great. Perfect. Maybe, yeah. So that way our entire dashboard is almost done. Now let's work on this alignment. You see the gaps are more or less. So in that case, yeah, let's get like we did on our last dashboard. So I'm going to go to the properties. So currently my height is 193. Maybe I think 193 works well. Width is 414. So I think let's standardize. Let's try 410. What happens if I use 410 as the width? Perfect. So in that case, let's do the 410 here as well. Let's have for all the charts, let's have the width of 410, and we'll do the same thing for height as well. So 410, this one also 410, this one also 410, and the middle row 410, this one as well 410, this one also 410. Great. Let's check the height. So this is 193, 197. Yeah, let's finalize. Let's say 193. Or if you want to use 190, let's use round figures. So 190. This also 190. This one also. Oh, this is too high. 190. For this also 190. 190. Oops, sorry. 190. 190. The last three remaining 190, 190, 190. Great. Yeah. So yeah, let's save this. Yes, I think yeah, uneven gaps do exist within these. So let's finalize this. I think this is a perfect one. So 81 by 207. Let's say 80 by 205. 80 by 205. This one also let's do 80 by 205 width. This one also 80 by 205. Oops, I think this has to be longer or the name goes away. I mean, I'm okay with just one of a different dimension. So 80 by, oops, this is too short. Maybe, yeah, let's keep it that way so that we have more room in other places. 80 by 205. This one also 80 by 205. Great. Now let's just eyeball and standardize it. And since our other visuals are completed, the dashboard is almost completed. Let me minimize this so I can utilize the maximum screen space. Also for the page, I will name it as Airbnb dashboard, AIRBNB dash BOARD. Perfect. So now let's move here. I think this is good. This is good. Maybe slightly to the left. This is good. This is good. This is good. Somewhere over here. Perfect. This is looking good. And okay, these are the top line is aligned. Great. By default, bottom lines are also aligned because they are the same height. So this also I move here. This also I will move here. Perfect. Because this is good. This is also good. Yeah. So technically, this completes our dashboard. So yeah, thank you all for your time attention while building this with me. Also, the plan for future is we will build a few more, maybe one or two more important dashboards like these, where we'll be covering lots of tricks and techniques. And eventually, like yeah, there will be 1 or 1.5 week dedicated for KPI development and exploratory data analysis, that is EDA, where we will be questioning about what we have done so far. So all the dashboards that we have completed so far, we will revisit them and extract all the KPI related information. So that will take your knowledge to the next level. And believe me, that's the most important takeaway from all these assignments that we are solving and with respect to all this data analytics principle itself. Yeah. So thank you so much for your time and attention, guys. You all are doing fantastic. Thanks for all your hard work. Thank you.